Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, guys? It's AttackonSamurott, and welcome to not another Pokemon Showdown Live. So this is a match I had in a Smogon tournament that happened recently. So in the forums, there's a couple tournaments that actually go on. There's circuit tournaments, and there's also like the official tournaments as well, and then there's like other smaller ones afterwards. But I was actually in a smaller tournament called Stour. So Stour is basically like a smaller version of Smogon Tour. Basically, you just play. I mean, basically with your opponent, you just play 3 games of different tiers. You have different gens in OU. So go from Gen 5 to Gen 6 and then to Gen 7. So for the first game, I'm gonna be playing Gen 7 with me. I played Gen 7 with LopunnyKicks. So if you guys don't know who LopunnyKicks is, he's a pretty competitive player on the on Smogon, or on Showdown, I mean. He's also been in a couple tournaments as well. I believe he was in, I think he won OST or something like. No, actually no, he didn't win. I don't think he won OST, but he definitely participated in it, and he came pretty far. And I think he also did Smogon Tour last year as well. I might be wrong. Again, somebody can correct me in the comments. But anyways, I actually have him for my first opponent, and when I saw the name, I was just like, bro, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. But when I saw his team, and I brought my team, which is a team I actually built myself. Which was a team I built myself, which was Flynium Z, Salamence plus Choice Scarf Magnezone, which I thought was really fun, and it definitely put in quite a bit of work on the ladder. So I wanted to try it out, see what it can do in tournament, and yeah. So matchup wise, the way how my team looks against him, it really looks like Salamence plus Magnezone is going to be putting in a lot of work, especially being able to trap Celesteela, which is one of Salamance's best checks. So I want to be able to kind of like beat that mon down, and make it easier for Salamence to have a better time with the team. Yeah, I'm also going to try and pressure him as much as I can with Greninja plus Lando. So yeah. Anyways, before we get started, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido Gang, and again, subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also, follow me on Pokemino. All those links will be down in the description. So without further ado, let me pause because my laptop's about to die. Alright, I'm back. So anyways, turn 1, I lead with Greninja as he leads with Landorus. So I like Greninja because, like I said, matchup-wise against his team, Greninja puts in a lot of work. Being able to kind of like wear down his team with Surf plus Dark Pulse, and also with Spikes as well. Dealing with Pex being like the fattest mon on his team, and everything else just kind of like getting chipped down by Spikes plus Surf. So Greninja was very threatening to him, and he's gonna be inclined to just hard switch right here. So he hard switches as he brings in the Pex, and I hard switch and bring in Lando. So I brought Lando in again, like checking his Lando and also check anything else on his team. So he switches out. Well, actually, no, I switch out first. As he goes into his own Lando. Again, I probably could have just got rocks up right there and just not risk anything, but I go back into my own Lando as he U-turns out on my Lando. So I'm just gonna keep U-turning on Landos and such. He's gonna bring out his Lottie. I bring out my Feeny, so I catch whatever the Lottie does. Goes for Psychic, doing a lot, and he also lowers my def as well. So I'm pretty much forced to switch out. I go into Greninja again, trying to catch the next Psychic, but he actually catches my Gren and goes for Quake. Brings in T-Tar as well, catching whatever I do. I go for Spikes, and I try and get some hazards up as well. So I'm not gonna lie, when the T-Tar came in, I was really scared because I was just like, oh no, I'm about to lose my win con. Because again, like my game plan for this game, or yeah, my game plan was for Gren to kind of just break through him and pretty much just clean up. Because again, like I said, I wanted Mens to kind of break through this, so that way Gren has an easier time with the team as well. So Gren being very weakened is pretty much no bueno for me. So and I was also fearing him being choice banned. So when he pursued me right here, I was just like, I'm about to lose my Gren. But Gren lived somehow, and I'm just like, yo, Gren lived that. So that was pretty lit. Anyways, he brings out the land. I bring out my Lando as he brings in his own Lando. And I actually go for rocks right here. He reveals the defog, showing that he's choice scarf as well. Which again, like, he kind of showed off anyway. I go for HPIs. It catches Lando, doing a good chunk to him. And he's pretty much forced to switch out. So I get rocks up on his Lottie switch in, which again, I definitely need it. So I'm going to bring out the Feeny, catching whatever he does if he has beam or whatever. So he does reveal the beam. Gets a crit, but it doesn't matter too much. He is going to psychic though. Psychic can wear me down a little bit. Got a pretty low roll on that psychic though, and he is going to get forced out because he did get his special attack lowered. So anyways, Pex is going to come out. I go for the Moonblast again, chipping down the Pex as much as we're just getting some damage on the Pex. But definitely I can't stay in here. He's going to switch out, go into Tran. Actually, no, I stay in and go for the taunt because I really didn't want him to get spikes up or try to do anything else. So I go Lando, as he is actually going to reveal that he's Z Heatran. He's going to go for the Bloom Doom, which is a move you don't really see too much on a Heatran anyway. But I am going to live that pretty nicely, and I also avoid the Magma Storm as well. So I U-turn on Heatran. So I actually want to talk about my U-turn play. So I U-turned on Heatran because I actually predicted him to go into Celesteela on Quake, or to go into something else on Quake. But to be honest, looking at the game now, I actually think Quake was the better play because, like I said, it wore him down pretty. It would actually wear him down a lot, and also he really couldn't capitalize on my Lando that well. Besides again with the Celesteela and the Lottie, since they both outspeed as well. So I think I made a pretty. I think the U-turn play was pretty bad on my part. I definitely could have just been more aggressive and just quaked right there. And I mean, again, like, Lando dodging that Magma Storm definitely helped me a lot as well. But again, had I just knocked out Tran, I would have like an easier time with the team as well. But yeah, I bring out the Gren, which again is a little bit more offensive and definitely forces him out anyway. He brings out the Pex as I actually go for the Surf, because again, Gren is starting to become a little bit more threatening now. Being able to like surf everything too, and everything's starting to get chipped down. So he scalds on my Feeny. Feeny's gonna eat that for days because Feeny is fat. By the way, Feeny put in so much work for me this game. Like, you're gonna see how much work has been put in for me so far. I'm actually gonna taunt again, thinking that he's staying with the Pex to get spikes up, but again, he doesn't go for spikes or whatever. He switches out or goes scald every time. So I bring out Lando as he goes for edge on my Feeny. I U-turn out. Again, getting some chip on the T-Tar. But again, I think this was another point where I could have just quaked right here, because again, Quake was pretty much like no drawback. So taunt ends. I volt switch right here, and this pretty much confirms that he's AV because volt switch did nothing to that T-Tar. So he's gonna quick on my Magnet Zone, which again told me that he was pretty much fine with doing that. So I'm gonna HPS on the Lando coming in, and that is gonna knock out his Lando. So now he can't defog, which is pretty good for me. Latios comes out, and he's going to beam me right here, so it's pretty much going to be a double down right now. Going to bring out the Gren, again, going to force him out. He goes Pex, and this play right here, I actually think I should have went for spikes again, instead of actually going for the Surf. Again, Surf wasn't really that great of a play, honestly. It was still a pretty offensive play, but I really think I should have went for the spikes instead. But he's going to skull me again with the Feeny, me with the Pex. I taunt on the Tran so he can't rock up or do whatever. So I pretty much get to switch out here. I go into Salamence as he actually goes for the Magma Storm on the switch in. So great play on his part predicting that. Maybe I think he predicted that, or he just wanted to get some damage on Feeny. Either one. I go for Quake as he brings in Celesteela, and I'm definitely forced to switch out here. So I go into Magnet Zone as he switches right into Heatran on my mag. So I'm gonna volt switch out. I actually get a crit, which definitely mattered a lot right there. He's gonna get rocks up too. So pretty much Gren's gonna be pretty much on his last leg. I go for Dark Pulse, trying to get like a decent roll on Pex. I do get some pretty good rolls, but I get no flinches. So pretty much Gren is just gonna be dropping here after Pex gets to like half or whatever. So Dark Pulse is still doing good damage, but it's not enough. And he's just pretty much going to be recovering on me until he decides to skull. So I go Feeny right here. Again, I want to try and save my Greninja, because like I said, it could still be the win con. So I wanted to defog right here. So I do defog. Also, I'm going to defog for Mince as well, because like I said, Mince is also pretty pivotal for this team, or pretty pivotal for me to break through the Pex. So I Nature's Madness on Pex as he decides to keep scalding. So this time I actually taunt so we can't recover, I believe. I think I taunt right here. Yeah, I do taunt right here so we can't recover or do anything else. He scalds, and pretty much right here, I believe I go Mana Zone. So yeah, I go Mana Zone as he scalds. And like I said, and Mag is starting to look dangerous as well. He could definitely clean up too. He goes T-Tar on the T-Bolt coming in. To be honest, I think I could have went for the Flash Cannon. Also, that the paralysis didn't really matter too much anyway. He does Pursuit me, which kind of hurts me as well, because now I'm going to be weakened to the Celesteela, and I'll pretty much die to Flamethrower, which is something I really didn't want to happen, but I think I should have been more aggressive and just Flash Cannon on it. But I do knock out the T-Tar with Moonblast, and Feeny is going to pick up 1 Mon, and it's also going to pick up the Heatran as well, and it's going to live with the Earth Power too, pretty nicely. So that's going to be a dead Heatran. So Feeny really was putting in work this game for me. It was doing so much work. But it's pretty much going to end right here. I'm going to let him knock out my Feeny as he Psychics it. And I can bring out the Greninja and again keep forcing him out. Brings in the Pex now. I go for the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse still does a good roll, so I could still keep going for Dark Pulse and try to get some flinches, which again I was really trying to get, but unfortunately I didn't get the flinch, and my Greninja is going to drop right there. So now I can bring in Mana Zone for free, and Mana Zone's pretty much able to clean up, or at least that's what I thought it could do. But yeah, I do knock out the Latios, and now Celesteela comes out, and I'm really trying to get like a decent roll on Celesteela, maybe live or whatever. But Thunderbolt does like half or more than half, but it's not enough because Celesteela is a fat mon and just gonna live every hit. So that is gonna knock out my Mana Zone, and now I'm pretty much forced to go for Diamond Storm on Celesteela. By the way, the reason why I didn't Mega Evolve early on in the game is because I really didn't want to try and like risk a speed tie with Latios. I also didn't really want to try and like play around with Orlando. Granted, it could have been pretty good like early on in the game, but I really didn't want to risk. I really didn't want Diancie to take too much damage, and I just kind of wanted to keep it around for the late game after its checks had been weakened. So yeah, so I sub right here, and pretty much because I dropped, I have to try and get a Diamond Storm and land both of them, but I missed one. And that genuinely sucks a lot, because now I pretty much have to try and get like a good roll on Celesteela and maybe try and knock it out. But luckily I get a crit, and that crit definitely helped me a lot right there. And yeah, so pretty much at this point I'm just going to be earth powering the Pex until it drops. But I actually start getting impatient though, and I actually start to go into Salamence in a bit. Because again, the Pex is not dying, and I kind of want this mon to die. Like legit. Pex is the most annoying mon in OU. I think that's pretty much the fact that everyone can attest to. But yeah, I just keep earth powering until he actually makes until I get a Spadef drop. But unfortunately, I didn't get a crit, I didn't get a flinch or a Spadef drop. So it's whatever though, it's whatever. But I do go for the Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm actually did less in earth power, so pretty sure that Pex might have been more defensive probably. Which again, it kind of makes sense since he had an AV T-Tar. But Earth Power definitely won't knock out the Pex at that range, yeah. Unless I had like a good roll, like a 51 or 50. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna keep Earth Powering until something else happens. But we'll just keep recovering, and just gonna keep going on for a little bit. But yeah, now I start getting patient going into Salamence as he actually recovers right here. I DD up, see what else he do. He goes for Toxic. And I actually double DD because I expect him to go for the recover, but he makes a better play and just goes for the haze. So now I'm pretty much gonna be at neutral. Had to go for Quake, hoping he doesn't recover or whatever. He didn't recover. He hazed, predicting me to DD again, but luckily I went for the Quake, and I'm able to knock out the Pex with the Z. So yeah, great first game, very fun first game, honestly. Again, I felt like I did make a couple misplays though, especially against the T-Tar and and kind of the Heatran as well. Again, letting my mons take so much damage, especially Lando and Mana Zone, because again, those two were pretty pivotal for the team as well, or were pretty pivotal for the game. Also, I guess Gren as well. Gren being like really weakened early on in the game kind of messed me up too. Again, had I kept had I kept pressuring him with spikes and such, and also just kind of preserved Grant a little bit better, it probably could have done a lot more work this game. But yeah, I definitely did make some misplays, but I think overall I played pretty decently against someone like LopunnyKicks anyway. But yeah, I do have 2 more games, one from Gen 6 and then one from Gen 5. So I'll probably go into those games in a little bit. So I'll see you guys in a quick second. Alright, so I'm back. It's a little late right now, as I'm recording game 2. So I'm gonna try and be a little quiet because my grandma's asleep, like right next to my room, so you know, or in her room, so right next to each other, so I can't be too loud. But anyways, for game 2, my opponent LopunnyKicks had we were playing Gen 6, and he brought a sticky web team. While for this game I actually brought a pretty good ORAS team. Pretty much combined like one of the best, like 3 of the best mons in ORAS, again, like being Lottie, Keldeo, and Mega Metagross. This team has been used a couple times by previous players that were in Smogon tours and such. So I wanted to try this team out, see what it can do. And I think I used this team last time as well in Grand Slam, actually, did I use this team in Grand Slam? I think I might use, no, not Grand Slam. I think I used this team in the last Smogon tour, or the one previous, the one last summer. But anyways, this game, let's just say it was really bad. I played this game so trash. But you guys are gonna see anyway. So let's get into it. So turn 1, he leads with Galvantula as I lead with Garchomp. So he actually goes for HP as turn 1 instead of going for the webs, which I was confused why he did that. But in the chat he said that was his bad. He messed up. So he goes for T-Wave, thinking I'd switch out on Lottie, but I had no reason to switch out. I do knock out his Galvantula. He goes Serp, and he goes for the superpower. He goes for the Leaf Storm, as I do detail him out. So now he's forced out, and if he comes in, takes a little bit of chip from Life Orb as well as from rocks. So Manphy's getting worn down. I bring in Lottie as he brings in the Drill. So Drill coming in gets his Sash broken. I go for Psychic. Now going Psychic, I felt was a pretty no drawback play because I was able to get damage on whatever came in, and it was going to do a lot anyway. Plus I am Specs as well, so that's like doing a lot of damage to him. I kind of thought that maybe he would okay, the Psychic play here, again, like I said, it was just a play that I wanted to make that pretty much got everything, or pretty much hit everything for a good amount. So I was pretty free to just go for that, but I really didn't take into account the webs, so I should have played a little bit more safe instead of just default on the Drill coming in, instead of going for Psychic. Because had I done that, I would have been in a much better position than I am right now by just hitting the Psychic on the Drill. But I end up going for it again, and I miss out on the knockout on Drill. Actually, I don't think it even knocked out. Looking at roll wise, I think it was still gonna be a 3 KO. But I do knock out Drill. Now Gyarados comes in. I'm pretty much forced to switch out in case he wanted to be Mega. In case he was Mega Gyarados, which I was kind of figuring he was. He's gonna sub right here as I go for the Secret Sword again. Pretty much catching him, trying to Mega or whatever. Goes Waterfall. Waterfall does a good chunk to me. Thankfully he didn't flinch me, and he is able to go for another Waterfall as I don't get flinched again, and I do knock out his Gyarados with Secret Sword. So Gyarados is out the way, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Then Dragonite comes out. I bring Lottie in as he goes for the DD, and as he DDs, I'm pretty much okay, he's pretty much just gonna go for a Dragon move or whatever. So I was fine with whatever he did, because pretty much my end game was for Clef to pretty much clean up. So yeah, so he goes for the Outrage. Outrage does knock out my Lottie, and this is where I mess up. I bring Metagross in here for no reason at all. So I think my mindset bringing in the Metagross was just to break the Sash, so that way break his multi skill, so that way Clef has a better time dealing with the Dragonite. but I really didn't take into account that he's locked into the outrage, so I literally could have went Clef right here and I could have won, but instead I choked really badly right here, and I ended up just going for the ice punch, getting him a +3. So yeah, definitely the worst possible play I made right here. He also gets the 3 turn as well, so pretty much if he breaks out he could quake here or whatever, so he ends up hurting himself, but I go for beam instead of going for the calm mind, risking, you know, the confusion hitting himself. But now he brings in Manaphy and just goes for the tail glow. Goes Skull does a lot to my Clef, and he's able, or me does a lot, but I don't end up knocking out his Manaphy after +1. So Clef is going to drop right here, and so this is Manaphy. So now all I have left is my Mag and the Serp, and me and my Keldeo. And I'm also, you know, still under webs, so I'm very slow with my Keldeo. I'm not going to outspeed the Superior. Flash Cannon does a good chunk, but not enough to knock out Serp, and also use lefties as well, so that means he's able to switch his moves and go for HP Fire. And now all I have to do is hope for that he misses Leaf Storm or whatever, or maybe he goes HP Fire, but goes Leaf Storm, lands it, and that is able to knock out my Keldeo, and that's pretty much the game. So yeah, this game was pretty much my fault. Again, I really didn't look too deeply into this game, not realizing that he's locked into Dragonite, he's locked into Outrage. I could have defogged, and I really could have actually won with Mag here. But yeah, again, I didn't think too deeply this game, and that pretty much cost me this whole game. So yeah, really bad game. really bad game I played right here. Again, had I just thought like clearly for 1 second, I could have actually won with Clef. Like, I legit had multiple opportunities to win. I could have won with Clef. I could have even won with the meta. I could have won with Magnezone, but I played it so stupid, not realizing that defog's up and he's locked in. But yeah, that's what pretty much happened in this game. Again, had I just calm my Clef, I could have won. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be game 2 in LopunnyKicks' favor. So now there's game 3, and game 3 is pretty much going to be the last one to, excuse me. Game 3 is going to be the last one to pretty much like end the whole, end the series for me and LopunnyKicks. So yeah, I'm going to go on to game 3 in 1 second. Alright, so here is game 3 against LopunnyKicks. So now we're playing Gen 5, and basically, whoever wins this game moves on to round 2 for Stour. And yeah, so this is a team that, if you guys are familiar with, I actually brought with me last time in Smogon tours, and it did pretty well for me during Black and White. It's a pretty cool team. Definitely came in clutch, especially rocking the powerful Zam, with the powerful T-Wave and such, and also running like Choice Band, Dragonite, Choice Banded, Garchomp as well with hazards and such. But yeah, a really good team that I brought back. That I wanted to bring back. You know, see how much further I can get with the team. But my opponent, LopunnyKicks, he brought a pretty cool looking team. When I first saw the team, I was just like, okay, this team looks very hyper offensive. Well, not very hyper offensive, but it looked like it could be pretty annoying to deal with offense wise. And I was actually very wrong. And you guys are actually gonna see how wrong I was when I saw this team. Yeah, let's get into game 3. So turn 1, I lead with Lando. As he leads with its own Lando. So turn 1, I do something. I do something pretty wild here. So turn 1, I'm thinking a couple things for this turn. I was thinking, okay, his team is very weak to ground. As you can see, this is his only ground resist. So literally, I could have just thrown off an Earthquake right here, and his team would have been worn down by quite a lot. Especially like with Chomp as well, because my goal for this game was to weaken his team with Quake, and then end up cleaning with Zam. That was pretty much like my goal for this game. But we're gonna see it didn't really go that way. So turn 1, he is also gonna be faster, so he's gonna get off the switch in as he brings in Keldeo. So I went for HP guys there, thinking he'd stay in, or thinking that I'd actually be faster than his Lando, but I didn't win the speed tie, and I mean he just hard switched anyway. So I gave off a lot of information right there for him. I told him I was Scarf, and I also told him I had HP ice, and you're gonna see that later on in the game he's gonna reveal it as well, but it's more towards the very end. But yeah, the Keldeo, actually, I do chip the Keldeo a little bit, and he is lefties. So what that told me was that he most likely might be sub Keldeo. So what that meant was I had to switch out right now, or else I'm going to get blown back by a Scald or a Pump. So I do switch out. I go into Zam. He actually goes for Toxic on the switch in. So very good Toxic on my opponent's part for doing that. And like I said, Zam is very important for this game. So this Pokemon getting Toxic doesn't really matter because it's Magic Guard, but if it was like Paralyze or anything else, then Zam would have been pretty much dead weight for this game. But luckily it was Toxic, so it's not that bad. And also I have the Sash on as well, so whatever he does doesn't really like affect me too much. But he goes for the Protect, discount for the Psychic. As I should go for Focus Blast. I went Focus Blast because I was just like, okay, he's probably gonna predict the Psychic, so he's probably gonna go into T-Tar. So that's why I went for the Focus Blast right there. Anyways, he goes T-Tar right away as I go for Psychic, thinking he stay in this time, but yeah, he did switch out this time. I go for Focus Blast. He reveals he's actually Choppa Berry, so because he's Choppa, he's able to take the Focus Blast, of course, and wear me down to my Sash. So I had to go for the Focus Blast and land it, and luckily I do. So T-Tar drops, and like I said, Zam is going to be a pretty big threat to him outside of the Zam's going to be a pretty big threat to his team, outside of like Drill being a Sand Rush. So I do have to worry about that. But again, like I said, Zam is a pretty big threat to him. So I try to pressure him as much as I can with it. And you know, I try and like bait him the best I could. But anyways, he brings in the Lando. I have to switch out because he's going to U-turn out anyway. So I do get the drop on Lando, get a little bit of an Intimidate drop. He switches out, goes into Keldeo. As I believe I actually go for the Quake right here, or I actually U-turn anyway. Okay, I U-turn instead because I'm just like, I don't want to take a Scald. So I go Jelly, he goes Toxic. Definitely a great play on his part predicting the Jelly to come in. I mean, Jelly was kind of obvious. I didn't really have any other good switch into Keldeo anyway, because I mean, Keldeo is just a freaking bulky, is a freaking like offensive threat, and there's like no switching for me to really go into for Keldeo on this team. So Jelly was the most likely switch in, so it made sense from the Toxic right there. And because he's toxic my Jelly is gonna be weakened by quite a lot, and it's gonna be kind of a problem for the gonna be kind of a hindrance for him. But anyways, I go into Garchomp as he brings in the Heatran. So he switches out Keldeo, bringing in the Heatran as I bring in my Garchomp on Jelly. So I go for Quake as he actually shows Protect. So that shows me that he's a pretty annoying Heatran. I go for Quake again as he brings in Lando, and that's not going to do anything because, again, it's Lando, of course. So he's going to be playing the Protect switch out game and such. So I pretty much have to try and like chip him down as best I can. He goes for Protect as I go for the U-turn again, and I pretty much have to keep U-turning out and trying to gain at least some kind of momentum. He goes Drill this time as I go for the U-turn. As I actually bring in my Garchomp right here. So he actually goes for the Protect against Sounding for what I do. I went Dual Chomp this time because I was just like, there's no way he's gonna stay in and go for and let me get a Quake off on him. So I was thinking, okay, he's gonna go in the Lando, but instead he protects right there, sees I'm Dual Chomp, and he's probably thinking, okay, he's probably like Twist Guard for Bandit or something like that. So I bring in Lando as he actually goes for Rocks on my switch in. So great play on his part for getting the Rocks up, and that's definitely gonna hurt me a lot more. Then it's gonna hurt him. I go for Quake again. He brings Lando back out, and I'm just like, okay, this is starting to get annoying. So he does take the Quake again. I switch out. I go on the Ferrothorn as I think he Quakes right here or U-turns. He just U-turns right here on my Ferrothorn. At least I chipped the Lando for a little bit, but yeah, Heatran comes out, and that's a pretty big threat because he's actually gonna reveal that he's going to be sub Heatran, which is definitely a big problem for my team because I can't break through that at all since most of my mons are locked, and I have to go for Focus Blast on this to even like break it. He burns my T-Tar. I do get Rocks up though at least, but him burning my T-Tar is pretty much going to make my T-Tar useless at this point, so all I can do is just go for superpower and just try and break the sub the best I can. So yeah, T-Tar getting burned really sucked, honestly. But there really wasn't anything else I could do with T-Tar outside of trying to weaken his Heatran. So he's just gonna keep subbing until I pretty much die, and I pretty much just let him knock me out. Because again, like I said, T-Tar wasn't gonna do anything else this game. So I think I made the right play just sacking it right here. But at the cost of, well, I mean, at least I broke his sub. But that's really all I could do. So T-Tar's gonna drop, and that is one mon down for me. I bring out Lando, force him out, as he actually protects instead. So I go for the Earthquake, and this time he actually goes Lando, I believe. Yeah, he goes Lando, as I think I hard switched here, or I just went quick again. Yeah, I just went quick again because I was starting to get impatient. But I switch out, go Jelly, and this time U-turns again, brings in Escadrille this time, and pretty much right here, I prevent him from spinning, and also I'm trying to get a burn on this drill so that way it's weakened. But he protects again. I go for the skull thinking he quake, but instead he just goes for protect again, just wearing me down even more with toxic and such. So this toxic stall is starting to get really irritating, and I'm just like, can I get a burn game? But the game doesn't reward me with a burn, and because of that I lose my Jelly, and also I lose my my answer to Keldeo as well. So because of that, he's able to spin here for free as well. Also, you get some free damage off with the Earthquake. I go for the Leech Seed, get some recovery off from the drill. Try and wear him down as best I can. I protect a little bit, get a little bit more recovery off. He spins. Say he spins right here. I get a little bit of a Leech Seed recovery. He can spin it. He goes for the spin, gets rid of both my Leech Seed and my rocks. So sucks a lot. I go for Gyro Ball, just chip him down even more. Honestly, I should have went for the double Leech Seed, but I didn't really think about that too much. Amoonguss comes out, I go Leech Seed on the Amoonguss, and again he's able to take that. And right here he goes for the Spore, and I'm just like, oh wait, this is black and white, he can do that. So yeah, he spores my Ferrothorn, which basically means that this Ferrothorn is going to be useless for the rest of the game, or for the majority of the game, as the game is starting to wind down. So I bring in Chomp as I believe my opponent, yeah, as he just gets a recovery off and protects again. As I go for Quake again, trying to force him out as best I can. He goes back into Lando, I believe. No, actually, no, I switch out this time and go Lando, as he goes into his own Lando right here. Yeah, he goes into his own Lando. So this time I was actually trying to catch him with the HP Ice, but again, he's going to predict that, obviously, and then go to Amoonguss. Get a little bit of chip on it, but honestly, that chip did not matter at all. So I go back into Ferrothorn, as my opponent is going to go right back into Keldeo. I think I should have played a little bit more aggressively and went right into Zam, but I really didn't think about that play too well. Anyways, Ferrothorn's pretty much like useless, so I'm just sacking it at this point, having it be my sleep fodder. So yeah, I do at least wake up right here, and I am able to protect, so I can at least try to keep this alive for a little bit longer. I think I want to keep it alive just for I forgot what I wanted to keep it alive for, but basically I kept it alive for a little bit longer. He goes for Secret Sword on my switching into Lando, and Lando's gonna be taking a lot. So Lando's pretty much like worn down. My team is starting to get worn down by quite a lot. I go into Zam here. So I went Zam because I was thinking, okay, he's gonna realize that, okay, I'm gonna just U-turn out. I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive and just quaked right there. But I was thinking, okay, he's gonna. I was thinking one thing. I was thinking he's gonna protect anyway, so I may as well switch out. Yeah, I thought he was gonna protect, thinking I'd quake or whatever, or U-turn out. So that's kind of why I made the play to just switch out hard right there. And because of that, I end up losing my Zam, being my win con, and pretty much the game is like done for. I really can't come back from right here. Chomp comes in, he just protects right here anyway. Actually, no, he scalds right here. I go for the Outrage. I do knock out the Keldeo at least, but now you can bring in the Lando, and he's gonna HP Ice me right here. So yeah, and that's pretty much gonna be the game. He just cleans up with Lando at this point. Or not Lando, with the with Lando or even his Heatran. So yeah, there was really nothing else I could do here. I definitely messed up this game, not realizing how, or I mean, like, Okay, I realized how important Zam was, but I played it a little too aggressively, or I didn't play it as aggressive enough, and I didn't really capitalize on his switch-ins. Also, another thing is that I went way too aggressive against his Lando turn 1. Had I just like quaked or whatever, then I would have been in a better position. But again, I was fearing the HPS if he had it, so that's why I went for HPS on my own to try and catch him. But didn't work out in my favor, and I ended up losing this game. So yeah. So it was a good series though. I definitely enjoyed playing LopunnyKicks. Definitely. So at least I came this far, like battling someone like this guy. But yeah, I do edge right here trying to get a crit or whatever, but not enough, and Lando is going to drop, and that's pretty much going to be the game. So yeah, the sub protect toxic stall thing was a little annoying. I'll give him that. It was very annoying trying to actually like get through that. Because again, like he had like toxic protect on pretty much all his mons for the most part, or at least for these three. I don't know if he had it on T-Tar. But yeah, there was relatively nothing I could do, especially against sub protect especially against sub protect Heatran. So yeah, definitely made some misplays here. Again, should have played a little bit more aggressively with Zam. Since, you know, again, I didn't really have to fear hazards and such since I'm Magikarp. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the end for this series. Gonna try and do a couple more tournaments outside of Smogon tours and like OST. I'll probably do like a couple more circuit tournaments that are like maybe like more OU based and maybe like outside of OU too. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure you guys have a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido gang, and again subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also follow me on Pokeamino. All those links will be down in the description. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I'll see you then. Take care. Hope you have a good one. Peace out.
Oh shit, I made this egg.